All right, so somebody's asking about what the role of the right knee is in the downswing. You see a lot of guys, a lot of amateurs going like this. You know, some guys, a lot of people are teaching that it should go roll in like that.
I like the right knee to stay in place a split second longer than most people like it, because I like the right hip to stay back longer to give the arms time to get in here and connect. Because when the right knee fires either out too early or forward too early, it brings the hip with it.
Yeah.
And for most, like McIlroy, Dustin Johnson, these are world-class guys. They figure out how to get it done. For the average amateur golfer, if the right knee and the right hip take off too soon, they're going to have a gap here. Their arms are never going to connect to their turn. And, you know, having it work out a little bit isn't the worst thing in the world. Actually, that's proper. Because as your hips kind of shift and rotate this way, the right knee is going to kind of kick out over the over the toes. If it goes laterally too soon and too much, I mean, even in McIlroy, his hip, you know, I got incensed over everybody wanting to copy Dustin. Well, when McIlroy won his major, everybody was out here on the range practicing the double hip stall of McIlroy. You know, that stuff drives me nuts. Well, the reason why his hips stall and then start again is because his right knee fires forward a little bit too early. And then his hips have to stop for a second to wait for his arms to link up. It's almost universal that if your arms are working correctly in both the backswing and the transition, generally speaking, you can have a good pivot and bad arm movements. It's really, really hard to have good arm movements and a bad pivot.
Right. That's what I've seen in this journey over the past year for Be Better Golf and this channel and my own game, is that you just get much better results golf-wise, and I've seen it with other people too, if you get your arms to do the correct thing and just let your lower body just be athletic and kind of brainless. And just reactive.
And again, there's nothing
actively shooting and firing down here.
There's nothing universal, okay? There's nothing universal in the swing, but this is what's really frustrating to me right now. And I might have said this last week or the week before, but it bears repeating. Golf seems to be the only sport where people are taught to have passive arms. You're not even taught to have passive arms in jogging. Or kicking a field goal. Or kicking a soccer ball.
Hacky sack.
You know, exactly. You're not taught to have passive arms in movements where the arms and hands aren't even involved. So having the arms and hands be passive when that's what's connected to the you know, I just, you know, some of these things just drive me. But again, if you go to an instructor and he tells you, I can teach your arms to work correctly by getting you to pivot properly, that is not necessarily false. Actually, it's quite true. But here's the thing. This is just an opinion of mine. If you find a guy who teaches pivot and the role of the lower body really, really well and really, really knows what he's doing, he can pretty much solve most people's problems. The problem is there aren't very many of those guys out there. If you don't teach the lower body correctly and just say total lower body, leave the arms, be passive, that's going to screw, most people will screw you up doing that. But like, you know, George, you know, you went and worked with George, so I'll bring up his name. Dana Dahlquist is very, very good at that. People that know how the pivot works really, really well will pretty much be able to solve most people's problems. But occasionally, you know, no matter how much you improve someone's pivot, if their arms are jacked up, you need to fix the way the arms work.
Hey everybody, on Be Better Golf right now, you can see this video that Monty and I did. Monty gave me a lesson about pitching because, as you've seen in some of my vlogs, it's the weakest part of my game. But I really think soon it's going to be a strength and something that I really enjoy doing.
Well, you weren't struggling much because after you got the lesson, you beat me in a pitching contest.
And a game of horse.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, no, and it's something, it's a move that is really just totally
universal.
It's universal. It's good for anybody to try it. So try it out. And I really think the information that we had in my lesson is going to be valuable for everybody. So pitching prescription, check it out.